She probably meant mail to the future, but our mails go to the past.
意味とかじゃなくて、映画のタイトルとメールをくっつけて。
It is fun.
いずれにせよ長い。
じゃあデロリアンメールとか。
Again, another movie reference there.
もう何のメールかさっぱりわからないではないか。
Although it does sound kind of a DeLorean mail. Alright. I'm digging that a little bit. It's short enough. We send a DeLorean mail. Or this DeLorean mail is X or Y. It rolls on the tongue. It's a movie reference because the DeLorean car in Back to the Future is a time machine in its own way, so a reference to that. It's not too long.
ねえ、こんなくだらないことに時間取ってる場合じゃないでしょ。もういっそのこと略して D メールにしなさいよ。
Even better.
いや、しかしそれでは味気なさすぎるというか。
味気なかろうが味気があろうがどうでもいい。
I mean, when you think about it, the first times that emails were ever concocted in the first place, one would say, email sounds kind of boring. Line mail, an electrical mail, email, that sounds kind of boring. 30 years later, everybody uses it on a daily basis. Shut down. Cadesa's influence on the lab seems to have grown significantly these past few days.
じゃあ D メールに決定します。
Mayuri, finished with her jelly, proclaims in satisfaction. But in that case, wouldn't it be perfect to call it T mail? Time mail? Hmm? Wait, when did Mayuri become the moderator? She was always a moderator.
で、なんで D メールみたいな現象が起きるん？
リング得意点への道が開いているからだ。何度も言っているだろう。
ブラックホールが発生しているのかどうかは確認できていない。単にセルンのタイムマシンと偶然似てるだけで、実は全く違う現象かもしれない。焦って結論を出すのは危険よ。
何を言う？お前は自分たちでタイムマシンを作りたいとは思わないのか？そのために危険を冒してセルンにハッキングまでしたのだぞ。今語るべきは電話レンジカッコ仮をタイムマシンとして使えるようにするにはどうしたらいいかだ。
でもさ、僕たちにできると思うん？
できるかどうかではない。やるのだ。
何よその精神論至上主義。あんたって無能なトップの典型ね。
It is like one of Yoda's fortune cookies ways.
おのれ、狂気のマッドサイエンティスト、法院教魔に対して何たる言い草だ。
No think. Do only.
まあそもそもオカリンは別にトップじゃないけど。
いかにも。俺はラボの象徴であってトップではない。
象徴だかなんだか知らないけど、どうやって電話レンジをタイムマシンとして使えるようにするか、その具体的な解法を教えてよ。
解放か。そうだな。一つある。放電現象が起きるか起きないかはランダムだと思っているようだが、俺には仮説があるのだ。
どういうこと？
I look at my watch. It's past noon.
発生条件の再現だよ、クリスティーナ。昨日の夜、いろいろ検討したはずだぞ。そして俺たちは最も単純で最も決定的な条件を見ようとしていた。すなわち、発生時刻だ。
The time of the occurrence.
過去2回の放電現象が起きた時間を調べてみたんだが、それによれば俺が誰の携帯に送った時に偶然発生した最初の D メールはだいたい12時から13時の間。 そして2回目。俺たち4人全員が目撃した D メールは18時頃に発生している。つまりその2つの時間帯に実験をすれば、あるいは再現が可能かもしれないのだ。
I mean, why not? Can't say that I understand why that would be the case, but maybe there's some explanation. Let's try.
早速やってみましょう。
Karisu walked into the development room, suddenly bursting with enthusiasm.
それにしてもこの助手ノリノリである。
マユシーのバナナずいぶん減ったね。また買ってこなくちゃ。
Only one banana remains untouched. We got rid of the jellified bananas, and then we ate the rest.
ごめんね、まゆりさん。後で新しいバナナ買ってくるから。
本当？嬉しいな。
You escaped this time. You were about to get the wrath of Mayuri, but you avoided that perfectly.
オカリンやダルくんはね、バナナ勝手に食べてもちっとも買ってきてくれないのです。
I'll be sure to amend that in the future. A bunch of bananas is a small price to pay in order to bring chaos to the world. Kurisu picks the last banana off the stem, leans under the table, and places it inside the microwave.
まずはジェリーマンになるか試してみる。
She tries to get up and gloriously bangs her head underneath the table.
ドジっ子アピールはよせ。
ストラは
Kurisu gets up, blushing in embarrassment with tears in her eyes.
このレンジの配置なんとかしろ。危ないしめんどくさい。
床に穴が開いてしまうから無理だ。
クリスちゃん、クリスちゃん、痛いの痛いの飛んでけ。
Pariri pats the back of Kurisu's head, then sweeps her hand through the air.
サンクス、まゆりさん。
Kurisu pulls herself together, taps on her phone, and activates the phone wave instead of the change. Okay, so she's using her phone. The banana inside the microwave slowly begins to spin backwards at the timer as the timer counts down. Kurisu, who is peering into the microwave, suddenly shouts in surprise. The banana has vanished. At the exact same moment, the banana reappears on its stem, jellified. Okay. Okay, I guess it's not just a... Okay, never mind. I was thinking that maybe Rintaro's phone was special, but if even Kurisu's phone works on it, then I guess never mind. Unless maybe the phone company is part of the problem. He's part of the organization. Maybe Kurisu and Rentaro's phones are from the same kind of company. That would be a perfect thing for time traveling and such. Nah, I say that. Okay, in which case it's not the phone. But you know what this means? We definitely need to buy some more bananas and keep testing this stuff until like 6 p.m. Because, yeah. If it's like a time frame thing, we definitely need to like study like the time frame like even more. So we're gonna have to keep experimenting on this until we are no longer able to do it.
おお。
ゲルバナになったね。
やはり俺の予想通り発生条件は時間帯だったな。
I was a little anxious about the result, but it all worked out. I outwitted the impertinent genius girl. Now my position as a symbol of the lab is secure.
やるわね、岡部。あまりに単純すぎて気づけなかった。
I mean, sounds kind of random, and it's not as if Rintaro like explained why it has to be such a time frame. We just noticed like this variable in time, and now we're playing with it. I still don't understand why it has to be between noon and 6 p.m. or maybe even later, maybe even earlier. Maybe the universe is at its fullest energy, like during the day, I guess. Even though it would make no sense. I would think that when you wake up, you are at full energy, and it decreases as the day goes by.
悔しいのか？それでも俺に3時の言葉を送る姿勢は強化してやろう。
それより D メールが再現できるかについても確認しないと。
Kurisu ignores my proud laughter and excitedly starts typing out the mail.
この法音隠居魔の威厳がクリスティーナのせいでどんどん落ちていく。
もともと威厳はないと思う？
いいからそこの男子2人手伝って。岡部、あんたの携帯にメール送るから。
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like going back to that discussion from before of maybe data is easily more sent, is easier to succeed in traveling back in time. Or maybe not easier to succeed, but rather it would be easier to send like data rather than physical objects with a lot more particles and such. You would think that maybe digital stuff has like less particle, therefore it would be easier to send back in time. But then again, these emails are sent like destroyed as well. But like on the flip side, we know that a huge discharge happened whenever we sent like emails, whereas with physical objects like the bananas, like they got sent back in time without like any explosion like anywhere. So so it's the complete opposite. Data is like it requires a lot more energy, I guess. Maybe. When did I become her assistant? I grind my teeth in frustration, but I do as I'm told and insert my phone into the phone wave. Name set to the change slot. Oh, hold on a second. Okay, now we're really using Rintaro's phone here.
ねえねえクリスちゃん、なんて送るの？
Mayuri presses up against Kurisu and sneaks a peek at Kurisu's phone. Okay. Here's the thing though, I was saying that maybe Rintaro's phone has nothing to do with it, but okay, maybe now I'm going back to the idea because maybe we're witnessing like two phenomena right over here. Because I was thinking maybe the phone is the solution to making the time traveling like work, but it's not necessarily that, it's more so that maybe Rintaro's phone gives more power to the phone wave than it already has. Like, it is Rintaro's phone that creates this huge discharge. Because, okay, from like failed experiments, they did keep sending like mails and it didn't succeed, but more than likely because they didn't use Rintaro's phone at a point, maybe.
別に意味のある文章である必要はない。送れるかどうかを確認できさえすればいいんだから。
どれどれ？岡部はずアンエアへ？
待て！そこの助手！何を打ち込んでいる？
そうね。準備いい？送るわよ。
Rintaro laughs. Daru has already set the microwave timer through the X68000. There's nothing inside, but the microwave still operates. The countdown starts from 120 seconds. From 120. And this is where the timing counts. We know that we have to open the microwave door during operation, but we still don't know when to send the email. But we still don't know when to send the mail. For now, we'll do them simultaneously. Kurisu raises her finger on her phone's send button. I grasp the microwave's door handle. Mayuri seeks color.
じゃあ、カウントするぜ!
The microwave timer soon indicates 70.
3、2、1、 0
Kurisu presses send. And at nearly the same instant, I opened the microwave door. Yeah. Oh, it happened. Jesus.
来たぞ
Lightning crackles in the air. The cushion underneath the phone wave, named Sato to change, collapses under the weight. The floor starts creaking. It's exactly like the discharge phenomenon that occurred before. The discharge lasts for about 10 seconds. After it subsides, we stare at the phone wave, named Sato to change, with bated breath. Luckily, it didn't break through the floor.
メール届いた。
Alright, let's see. I disconnect my phone from the phone wave, named Sato to change, and check my mail. Kurisu stands beside me and peers at the screen. Apparently... Oh! Airhead. Okay. But the thing is, though, it was already opened there, I noticed. Both of these were already opened. There's an email there. 2 of them. And they're written in English. It's very confusing. Cause again, if we're thinking about that theory of how if a paradox is happening, then another timeline is happening, is being created with the same condition, that would mean that everything needs to be changed, including Rintaro's memory. I guess this could be it. Rintaro at some point has read this email, even though now we only sent it. In the past, Rintaro sent it. It's just that we don't remember because now we reconstructed like a totally different timeline. I think. I'm gonna be saying like so much bullshit in this adventure. Trying to sound smart and, you know, thinking that what I'm saying is correct. But, Kurisu starts laughing when she sees the mail, even though she's the one who wrote it. Alright. Laugh at the email. You see. Laugh as much as you want. The Okabe in the first one is obviously my name. But what does airhead in the second one mean? My English is shaky. Did she say my head can fly or something? Tch. Whatever. I may not know what it means, but I do know this. My assistant is making fun of me. But that doesn't matter right now.
クリスティーナ、お前はメールを2通送ったのか？
No.
送ったのは1通だけ。
So I got destroyed once again.
マユシーも見たよ。あのね、本当に1通だった。
しかし2通受信しているぞ。
そうね。一つの文章だったのに分割されてる。
ちなみにこの文章の意味は？
自分で調べれば。
I guess she doesn't want to answer.
そういえばさ、この前の D メールも文章が途中で切れてたよな。
Yeah.
そうだったか？
そうそう、着歴見てみなよ。僕は確かオカリンは変態って送ったはずだお。
Yeah, man. Did you already forget? Also, 5 days yet again.
確かにこちらも2つに分割されているな。
何が原因なのかしら。
ゼリーマンと関係があるかもしれん。
でもマユシーはね、どうして5日前に届いたかの方が気になります。
Yeah. Like, why 5 days specifically? Because the only thing that I can think of is the duration of the microwave when it turns on. We always kept it like at 120 seconds. Is it based on that entirely, or is it based on when we opened the microwave? In which case, we need to take into account at what point we opened the microwave. Actually, I think we opened it at... I'm not sure if I remember this particular detail correctly, but was it like 104 seconds? Somebody said at some point that maybe they opened it at like 104 seconds in the timer.
確かに前に送った時も5日前に届いてたわよね。
Yeah.
ああ、そうだった。
なんか法則性でもあるんじゃね？
じゃあさもっとじゃんじゃん送ってみようよ。
My ear is right. Now that we figured out how to send emails, we should keep experimenting and collecting as much data as we can. Yeah, because now we have to determine, are we actually going to be able to keep sending like these emails until the right time frame, say 6 p.m. or 5 p.m., or now we're no longer going to be able to send like any emails anymore, because again, maybe something needs to be charged or something. It kind of depends. Are we going to be able to keep sending the emails until the right time frame, or is there like a cooldown between each of these that we have to determine?
よし、ラボメンよ、全員配信につけい。
また始まった。
これより D メール実験を可能な限り連続で行う。ダルはペケロッパにて電話レンジカッコ仮の監視、調整、情報収集。助手はメールを打ち続けろ。さまざまなパターンの文章を試せ。日本語、英語、全角半角、絵文字。内容は問わん。
Christ. I'm sure Shining Finger would be better for the job, but since she's not a lab ma'am, I'll leave it to Krisa.
マヨシーは？
マユリには買い出しを命じる。とりあえずバナナを買ってきてくれ。金はこの法王院京馬が出す。
あー、オカリン太っ腹だね。
じゃあ岡部はレンジのドアの開け閉めね。
うひょー、刺身にタンポポの花を乗せる仕事並みの単純作業じゃね？
いや、上司の判断は的確だ。おそらく D メール製品の鍵はレンジのドアを開けるタイミングにかかっている。
Let me throw in a little bit of a weird observation when it comes to this. Because we discussed before that in order for us to have like a good black hole necessary for time traveling, we need what is called like a naked singularity, which would technically mean that the black hole is open for us to observe and send and pull stuff out of it in order to make the time machine correctly. It kind of sounds similar to opening the microwave. Like you open the microwave to see what is inside, you basically observe the thing that is being sent back in the past, kinda. It's kind of like opening, like you're opening the black hole, like you're opening the time machine, you're opening the singularity, and it becomes naked. So it's kind of correlates, I guess.
あ、いや、冗談で言ったんだけど。
Although, now that I'm thinking about it, if we are opening the microwave, creating like a naked singularity, turning a singularity into a naked singularity, in that case, we would be creating like the perfect time machine, right? But nonetheless, the email is still destroyed / deteriorated, split into two. So even if we do that, it's not perfect. So,
レンジのドアの開け閉め、この法院教馬に任せるがいい。神のごとき正確さと修羅のごとき大胆さ、そして女性を扱うかのごとき繊細さを持って開け閉めしてやろう。
yeah. Like, we're definitely gonna need to write this stuff down. Not only, like, the amount of time that one would be... that a banana would be needed to cook. Like, change it from 120 seconds to 100 seconds. And then 60, and then 90, like... change, like, all that stuff. But also, at which point you're opening the microwave door. Because maybe if we try like all sorts of combinations of times right over here, we would be able to send like a D-mail, like in perfect shape in the past.
ああ、オカリン、エッチ。
なお、本作戦はトップシークレットである。誰にも漏らしてはならない。いいな。
Mayuri nods. The others are ignoring me.
では、作戦名を発表する。
作戦名とかいらないから始めましょう。
なんだと。
You ruined my climactic scene. Damn you, assistant. This is an outrage! Alright. Afterwards, the D-mail experiment, its name is Operation Ord, though I lost my chance to announce it, continues for 2 hours. Alright? The eldest of the three Norns, goddesses of fate in Norse mythology. The three sisters tend the royal tree, Yggdrasil, which has roots in Urd's fountain. Urd is the Norn of the past. Okay. During that time, every D-mail goes back in time without a hitch. Okay. Now it's time to take a break. We're all hungry, and except for Mayuri, we've been up since last night.
どうぞ休んでて。私はもうちょっとやってみるから。
Okay, so yeah, if these D-mails work, that means that it's not a matter of cooldown or like a random source of energy that needs to be charged with time. There really is like a time frame apparently. She's been going at it for hours and she's still full of energy. It's hard to believe she was so opposed to time travel research before. Her scientist's blood must be on fire. We made a number of discoveries, but we can wait to assess them until after we eat. Darren and I leave the two girls to watch over the lab as we go shopping at the convenience store. Alright. We return from the convenience store to find the Braun Tube Workshop's one and only part-time warrior standing in front of the building. She is stretching. She notices me and calls out without stopping her exercises.
なんか朝から愉快そうなことしてる？
Shenanigans. Actually, not anything about it. I cannot open my phone apparently. This girl has a thing for unusual words.
いかにも聞いて驚くな。俺たちは人類史にその名を残すであろうタイムマシンを作っているのだ。
そっか。
お前、もっと驚いたらどうなのだ。
ま、信じられんのは当然じゃね。僕も最初は半信半疑だったし。つうかそう簡単に秘密ばらしちゃっていいのオカリン。機密事項じゃなかった？
しまった。そこのバイト選手よ。今俺が話したことは内密に頼む。
いいけど、そうじゃなくてさ。
Part-time wearer glances at the Braun Tube Workshop.
店長がすっごくイライラしてるわけ。
というと
when you, Rintaro, what is the condition of the floor right now?
2階からの振動がすごくってさ、 埃が落ちてくるだけじゃなくて実際に揺れるんだよね。爆撃されたみたいに。
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't gone through the floor up until this point.
あいつら一体何してんだ。家賃あげてやるぞこらってぼやいてた。謝りに行った方がいいかも。
ゲゲゲ、追い出されたらまずくね？
よし、ここは俺に任せろ。それとダルよ、助手にしばらく実験を止めるように伝えてくれ。
了解。あんた今最高に輝いてるよ。
Hey, what is that supposed to mean? Daru! Daru salutes and races up to the second floor.
そういや、マキセ・クリスって来てんの？
おう。
Come to think of it, she did pick a fight with Christina yesterday. Yeah, why is that? What do you have with that woman?
知り合いなのか？
昨日が初見。
初見？
That's a strange way of putting it.
あ、なるほど。初めて会ったにしては、やたら敵意をむき出しにしていなかったか？
支援だよ。
What? I barely heard her. Her voice was so low. I'm about to ask her to repeat herself, but Suzuha is staring at the ground in silence. She obviously doesn't want to talk about this. Did she call Kurisu her enemy? But that doesn't make sense.
お、個人的な恨みがあるということか。しかし、初めて会ったのに？
まあね。
何かあったのか？
直接はないかな。
間接的というとどういうつながりだ？なんなら俺がクリスティーナに話をつけてもいい？
別にいいって。
もしかして単なる逆恨みだったりするのか？
もうしつこい。
She hits me with a glare.
岡部倫太郎さ、私のことより店長に謝りに行かなくていいの？
Alright. You know, in similar energy to Frodo from Lord of the Rings. Alright, keep your secrets. Actually, I'm getting cold feet. But I am Kyoma, the mad scientist who brings chaos to the world. I can't falter now. I steel myself and enter the Brown Tube workshop. Part-time warrior follows me inside.
失礼する。
Mr. Brown is sitting at the counter inside, slurping delivery ramen. Even when I enter, he doesn't look away from the huge 42-inch CRT. He's showing some news shows report on some celebrity divorce. Part-time warrior doesn't say anything. She's going to stand there and watch him rip me a new one.
おい、岡部。おめえ一体上で何やってんだ？
Straight to the punch. He doesn't take his eyes off the TV, nor does he stop slurping his ramen. Yet despite his sedentary posture, he exudes extraordinary pressure. But now is not the time to falter.
実は世紀の実験中でしてね。すなわち人類の科学史を塗り替えるタイム。
おめえらのお遊びのことはどうでもいいんだよ。このビルのオーナーは俺。分かってんのか？結構ボロいビルだからよ。おめえらがガタガタ揺らすと壁にひびでもできるんじゃねえかと俺は気が気じゃねえわけ。
I better keep quiet about the dent in the floor.
ミスター・ブラウンよ。まさかこのビル耐震偽装物件ではなかろうな。
だったらどうなんだよ。
Oh, great. That's lovely. Holy crap. Maybe we should seek shelter soon.
ちゃんと補強工事はした。だがな、いくらなんでもおめえらは揺らしすぎだ。
このビルの一つや二つ崩壊したからなんだというのです。
ああ？
我らが行っている実験は何度も言うが人類の科学史、いや 人類の歴史そのものを塗り替えるような壮大な内容なのです。このビルをあと10年延命させるよりよほど意義のあるものだ。
The building starts shaking again as soon as I finish speaking. Okay. Flakes of concrete start falling from the ceiling. The 42-inch CRT's image goes to static. Uh-oh. Damn it, Taro. What are you doing? I thought I told you to stop the experiment.
こら岡部、
He's glaring at me.
なんか落ちてきたぞ。ラーメンに入ったろうがどうしてくれるんだ。とにかくこれ以上揺らすんじゃねえ。でないと家賃を1万上げる。
What? If you raise it 10,000 yen, we're ruined.
任せるがいいミスターブラウン。我が名誉にかけて今日はもう揺らさないと誓おう。
With that, I race out of the Braun Tool workshop. Ah, damn it.
クリスティーナ、今すぐ実験は中止だ。
When I burst into the lab, I find the three of them in the middle of lunch. Mayuri has juicy chicken number 1. Daru has a convenience store box lunch. Kurisu's eating cup noodles with a fork.
ごめんねおかり。今まゆしりが唐揚げを温めようとしたんだけどね。ついいつもの癖で逆回転させちゃって、ついでだから放電させてみたの。
Oh, wait. It happened with the physical stuff like chicken, so it's not necessarily just the D-melts that it creates like a huge discharge and like shaking. Oh yeah, but did you open it? Did you open the microwave at some point?
そうか。
あんたにメール届いてるはずだけど、見てないの？
Oh, so... Your sarcasm is not appreciated. You know as well as I do that my phone is still attached to the phone wave. Needs to change. I disconnect my phone from the phone wave. Needs to change while grinding my teeth. Alright, let's see what other funny stuff you sent me this time. One more, please?
ふざけるな。ミスターブラウンに睨まれるのは俺なのだぞ。
5日も前に忠告したのに。
How funny, haha. Well, yeah, the timestamp's from 5 days ago, but...
店長、怒ってた？
Yeah.
殺意の波動を感じた。
Right. Kyoma-san, are you familiar with Gero froggies? They were a huge fad last year. We have tons of them at the shrine, so if you like, could you take a few of our hands? Dad brought a whole box home for some reason. Then he said they were for me. I don't know what to do with them. P.S. I was so bewildered. I couldn't do any practice swings with Samidare. Yeah, you know what, sure. Those weird-looking frogs, things that were popular with teenage girls in Shibuya last year, right? If I'm not mistaken, they came out with a wide variety of them. You know, the stories you tell paint a very different picture of your father than the impression I got from meeting him. Which is the true him, I wonder? I suspect that last year's Gero Froggy boom was an organization plot. Be careful, Lukako. Those Gero Froggies may be responsible for your father's strange behavior. Okay. Well, we kinda want them. Let's just go with this, I guess. Daru turns pale, but the two girls don't seem to care. They know not the wrath of Mr. Braun. Ignorance is bliss.
とにかく今日はこれ以上の実験は中止だ。
実験のデータは十分取れたわ。
Then Kurisu hides her mouth with her hand as she yawns. Alright, well, we're never gonna have to circumvent Mr. Braun somehow. Either we do these experiments somewhere else, or we convinced Mr. Braun to leave the shop in the time frame that we need to do the experiments, which, from what I've heard, might be easy to do. I think from what we heard, like in passing, Braun is not always at the shop, so.
さすがに眠くて辛くなってきたし、髪もパサパサだし、シャワーを浴びてゆっくり眠りたい。
I sigh and take a box lunch out of the convenience store bag. It's cold, so I toss it into the phone wave, instead of change, and set the timer normally. Erlintaro, be careful you don't send that food back in time all jellified.
シャワーならここにもあるよ。バスタブはないんだけどね。シャワー室っていうのかな。オカリンはいつもそこを使ってるよね。
なんか汚そう。
お世辞にも綺麗なシャワー室とは言えん。このビル自体がボロいからな。
そもそも岡部と同じシャワー室を使うなんてお断り。
気持ちはわかる。誰も使えとは言っていないしな。もっとも徹夜明けで俺も誰もお前もかなり臭いだろうがな。
Given the sweltering heat and the fact that we kept the windows closed all night, I bet this place is smelling pretty rank by now.
だから食べ終わったら帰るわよ。
Chryso slurps her cup noodles indignantly. I bought them at her request. She was raised in America, yet she likes cup noodles? Strange.
高級ホテルでセレブ気分のバスタイムか。俺も連れて行ってほしいものだ。
お断りします。
マユシーも行ってみたいな。
まゆりさんなら歓迎する。
本当？ありがとう。
I take my warm food out of the microwave, take a fresh bottle of Dr. P out of the fridge, and join in on our lunch.
ねえねえオカリン、前から不思議だったんだけどね、ご飯食べながらどうして炭酸ジュース飲めるの？その組み合わせって美味しいのかな？
特に疑問を持った覚えはないぞ。
僕も。
そうね。私も不思議には思わない。
まゆりがおかしいんだろう。食事と炭酸飲料の組み合わせなど普通だ。
普通だよな、上皇。
異論はない。
そんな、みんながおかしいんだよ。
Well, I'm pure Docperian. What's that? Daryl loves cola like a typical fat otaku, and Chryso lives in America, home of soda. All kinds of stereotypes in terms of drinking. What is Docperian? Someone who loves Dr. P above all other beverages. Coined by Okarin. Okay. Docperian! So I admit our opinion is biased, but that doesn't matter right now.
さて、オペレーションウルドの実験成果についてこの場で検討してみようか。
オペレーションウルドって？
そういえば昨日はどこぞの女子のせいで作戦名を披露できなかったのだったな。昨日夜から今日にかけて行われた D メールの連続送信実験、それがオペレーションウルドであり、
実験の成果はあった。
She interrupts me again!
D メールについて少なくとも何ができるのかは分かったから。
Chryso places her empty noodle cup on the table, then retrieves the whiteboard from the development room. While the rest of us eat, she scribbles on the whiteboard, then puts it up against the wall.
とまあこんな感じ。補足や反論は？
Hold on. Let's see, this charge phenomenon. I cannot read what's beyond. What's. Command for microwave warming function. Reverse rotation. Force microwave door open while warming is in progress. Timing unconfirmed. Send mail to phone wave during discharge. Conditions for discharge. The email text limit 12 1 byte or 6 2 byte characters times 3. Any more fails sent. Okay. Distance into pass depends on phone wave. Timer input. 1 second on timer equals 1 hour into past. Okay. So 120 seconds would mean 120 hours into the past? That actually checks out. Yeah. Because 5 days, like 1 day is 24 hours times 5, that will be like 120 hours. Yeah, sure, it checks out. Contents of microwave become jellymen. Confirmed to also teleport. Yeah, I guess, yeah, that sure sounds like a logical way of viewing why it goes back in time like 5 days in the past. Why specifically 5 days? Nothing especially. She summarized the vital parts. Mayuri has her mouth half open in a blank stare. She clearly doesn't understand.
D メールでは最大で英文36文字か。日本語文18文字しか送れないというのは不便だな。改善したいところだ。
Furthermore, each email is split into 12 character segments. If you send 36 characters, you get 3 12 character emails. If you try to send more, everything after the 36th character disappears. Okay. So there is a limit to the digital amount that you can send.
でもいつへ送るかの調節ができるのを発見したのはすごくね。
Though we can only set it in 1 hour increments, we can control how far back the emails go by using the microwave's timer.
発見しただけで満足してたら無意味。原理を突き止めないと。ここに書いたのは現象として確認できたものでしかない。
原理の究明か。確かにそれが分からなければ真にタイムマシンを作ったことにはならない。6文字 ×3 しか送れないのは何が原因だ？
Daru and Kurisu remain silent. Suddenly, Mayuri, who has been staring at the ceiling in confusion until now, raises her hand. Yes, Mayuri?
あのね、唐揚げやバナナはゲル揚げとかゲルバナになっちゃって、でもお塩はゲル塩にはならなかったんだよね。
True. Actually, haven't we discussed this before? Like, I think that Kurisu mentioned something like that. Is it like too small of a structure for it to be destroyed in any way?
だから略すなよ。
According to Mayuri, the frozen chicken had indeed been jellified when she tried eating it. Kurisu's prediction was right.
で、D メールは18文字まではちゃんと送れて、19文字以上は消えちゃうんだよね。
Yeah.
きっとね、おっきなものとかたくさんは送れないんじゃないかな。
You can't send big things or a lot of small things. Yeah, like maybe there is like a limit in particles, yeah. Like, salt would be considered equivalent of having like too little amount of particles. Whereas maybe there is an object that we could technically fit inside a microwave that would not be able to be sent back. Which I don't think we've tested like anything like bigger than the chicken. So I don't know.
もしかしてそのカーブブラックホールが
Curb.
カーブラックホールね。
カーブブラックホールが
だからカーブラックホール。
ブラックホールの穴がきっついんだよ。
まゆし、今の言葉もう一度よろ。穴ってところから。
だろ？
穴がきっついの。
これはけしからん。
言わせているんじゃないや、ホダル。
Mayuri has flowers for brains, so she's easy prey for Laru's perversions. It drives me crazy.
穴がきついか。あながち間違ってないかも。おそらくセルンのタイムマシンと同じ原因ね。リフターの調整がうまくできてないから、完全には得意点を裸にできず、そのせいで送れる容量が限定される。
Yeah.
唐揚げやバナナはともかく、全角6文字半角12文字のデータっつうと容量は12バイトだね。
12 bytes. And what does 12 bytes amount to? English characters are half width, so they only use 1 byte. But full width Japanese characters use 2.
バイト？キロバイトじゃなくて？
おーっと、マキセ氏はメカに弱いタイプと見た。
そうなのか、ジョッシュ。
うるさいな。バイトなんて単位は最近見ないから確認しただけよ。
By the way, 1 kilobyte is 1024 bytes. 1 byte is 8 bits. Okay, yeah. So we're talking about 12 bytes. That would mean 12 times 8. That would be 96, I think. Yeah, 96 bits.
まあ電子メールは本文テキストだけじゃないけどさ、送信先と送信元のメルアドとかヘッダとかもろもろ込みだともっと増えるけど、
Yeah.
目安として12バイト分の文字数なら3回分は転送できるってことじゃね？あ、ちなみに件名は入れると入れないとでどう変わるかわかんねえ。
3 batches of 12 bytes. So I guess that technically mean like 3 times 96. 120, 270, 270, 288 bits? That will be it.
確かに唐揚げやバナナをデジタルデータに換算したところで12バイト程度のサイズになるとは思えんな。
Yeah, for sure. How do you measure a banana in bytes anyway?
塩は一つ一つが小さいから12バイト以下と換算された可能性がある。
質量が大きいと超重力に押しつぶされるっていうこと？
質量ではないかもしれん。データには重さはない。
いずれにせよ、得意点を裸にできていない時点でイベントホライゾンを通過せざるを得なくなる。そのイベントホライゾン内では空間と時間の入れ替わりの影響でリング上得意点に到達した被験者は超高速に達しているから、超重力により押しつぶされて破壊されたデータがブラックホールから吐き出されてしまう。
ゼリーマンの出来上がりだ。
でも質量が小さければ通り抜けられるとも思えない。どっちにしろ超重力の中を抜けないといけないのよ。
Yeah.
穴がきついのならば注入する電子を増やせばいい。
そんな簡単な問題とは思えない。セルンだってその方法は試したはず。なのに実験開始から9年経っても解決できていない。単純に電子の量を増やせばいいってわけでもないのよ。
そうか。
そもそもセルンではリフターがあるけど、電話レンジの場合そのリフターに代替するものが何なのかすら分かってない。これじゃ調整以前の問題。
She has a point.
リフターに変わるものが何なのか、それは不明だが、少なくともその代替物の効果によりリング得意点に36バイトプラスアルファまでは通り抜け可能な道が作られているのは確かだ。
よ 僕わかんないよ。
Mayuri, finish with your chicken, looks at us in confusion.
リング上得意点の入り口である内側のイベントホライゾンを魔王城の門に例えればいい。
魔王城？
Hundreds of soldiers attack the heavily fortified Demon Lord's castle gate. The soldiers can use the magic called Lifter to force the castle gate open, but they can only keep it open for a moment before it closes. During that moment, only 12 soldiers can break through. And the soldiers can only use Lifter magic 3 times. The 36 soldiers who make it through the gate return triumphantly as the heroes who slew the Demon Lord. But the soldiers who were left behind are imprisoned by the Demon Lord's minions. They are taken to the castle's prison cells and turned into slimes. The heroes save them after defeating the Demon Lord, but unfortunately they go home as slimes.
スライムになって帰ってきた騎士さんたちがゼリーマンなんだね。
Yeah.
だが例外もある。
Christ. Imagine if that's the explanation for why slimes exist in JRPGs that you see. Like, the only example that I can think of right now is like the Atelier games. With like the... What are they called? I'm forgetting, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, there were previously like soldiers who tried to defeat like the evil villain of that story, and they failed, so they were turned to slime, and they wander nature. With no memories intact whatsoever, they are just slimes. Christ, that's actually pretty dark. It's like the equivalent of how you hear about how Bowser, like in the early days of Mario, like the 90s or 80s, when the first game appeared, apparently he or somebody else, like Kamek maybe or something, transformed the toads into like blocks, and Mario basically destroys the stone blocks in his game. And you don't realize that those are actually like toads transforming into blocks until later. Or something like that. That's the story that I heard of. It's something like that. Kind of dark when you think about it. The super soldier has the power to defeat the Demon Lord alone. But since his body is too big, he can't pass through the gate, even when it's opened by a lifter. And so, deprived of his magic's effectiveness, the weakened super soldier is seized by the Demon Lord's underlings and sent home in defeat as a giant slime.
なんだその無茶な設定。
図体が大きすぎてはダメだという例えだ。
なるほど。すごくわかりやすかったよ。
Mayuri is a gamer.
そう？
オカリンの例えはともかく、これでゼリーマンの件は解明できたんじゃね？
すべてマユリのヒントのおかげだな。
マユシーは役に立ったかな？
ああ、いいひらめきだったぞ、マユリ。
Yeah, sure are helpful, little one.
よかった。
でもまだ仮説よ。それが証明されたわけじゃない。
証明ってどうやんの？セルンと同じように人体実験するん？
岡部と橋田さんが被験者として志願してくれるなら喜んで実験してあげるけど。
人体実験ってなんか響きがやばいよね。性的な意味で。
Well, joke's on you. We cannot even fit inside the microwave. And Carissa is gonna be like, oh yeah? Well, we can test it out. And then she suddenly like froze the microwave with the door open on Okabe's head. Like he has it on the head. And she just turns. Like she opens. She turns on the microwave. And suddenly his head is gone. He's suddenly like a chicken with its head cut off.
だが断る。僕はされる方よりせっかくだからする方を選びたい。
右に同じ。いや、 性的な意味でという部分は同意しないが。
バカども。